Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Well, today we're going to explore a key idea in the second language learning called a transfer. We'll talk about how your first language can help or sometimes hurt when you're learning a new one. This is a video inspired by Moti Lieberman. So transfer, what is transfer, right? What is language transfer? So transfer is when we use what we already know from our first language while trying to learn a new one. Sometimes this helps us, like when sentence structure is similar, but it can also lead to errors. It's when we, it's when we apply knowledge from our first language, our L1, to our second language, our L2. So, like I said, it can be helpful if it's positive transfer, or it can cause mistakes if it's a negative transfer. So Moti's key point, what I thought was his key point. So Moti points out that transfer is not a flaw. It's how our brain tries to make sense of new language input. We rely on patterns we've already learned to navigate new situations. So not all transfer is bad, and our brains look for patterns to make learning easier, which I think that's very, very true. We try to find like what we already know to go ahead and make those patterns, and that way we can learn something new. So its transfer is natural and it is expected. So here's a few examples. If two languages share vocabulary or grammar, you'll probably pick them up faster. But if they differ, like in pronunciation, it can cause confusion or mistakes. So I think a lot of this is true, like when even when English and Spanish, when there's cognates, and the students can go ahead and make that transfer easier. So I think that's a lot of it's true. And here's a little table that I inserted on what I think it is. Some people call this interference, but Moti uses transfer because it includes both the good and the bad. Interference sounds like something's wrong, but really it's just a part of learning. So transfer versus interference. So transfer is a neutral term. It includes both positive and negative effective, and interference is negative only terms, focuses on errors. As teachers, or those of you that aren't teachers, so future educators, knowing about transfer helps us better support bilingual students. Their mistakes usually have a pattern, and understanding that lets us teach more effectively. So once you're in the classroom and you see, if you're working with bilingual students and you see them, you're able to catch the pattern of where they make mistakes and what's going on, and how to help them better themselves. And like I've mentioned before, if you make a student feel comfortable, and if you're there and you help them out, they'll be more open and more susceptible to learning and to cooperate with you. So, and like to wrap it up, transfer is something all second language learners go through. By recognizing it, we can help our students grow and become confident multilingual speakers. So transfer is natural and useful, but not all of it is natural. Positive and negative transfer shape how we learn languages. Thank you all. I hope you have a good evening.